I'm going to watch everybody around here.
All right, let's do top 5. This is a G. Bush submission from earlier this week.
Okay.
The worst unwritten rules in baseball.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
G. Bush, this is for you.
Thank you.
And let's start with
Thank you
the
very much.
pictures, by the way, a little weird. It's hard to find some of these unwritten rules picture-wise. But the fifth worst unwritten rule in baseball is don't walk across the pitcher's mound.
Yeah, that's real.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's real.
So like if I'm coming from the outfield or I got thrown out at first,
But nobody ever does that.
I
though.
can't.
Well, of course they don't because they know not to.
Right, but there are other unwritten rules that players actually break.
I can't run on top of the mound, or if I got thrown out, even if it's a third strike.
No, can't do it.
What, you got to run around it? You got.
It's like walking into an NHL locker room. No one steps on the logo in the middle of the carpet. Just nobody.
By the way, worst smell
I've seen-
ever is a hockey locker room.
Ooh,
Yeah, it's pretty
That's
bad.
the worst
Oh
smell.
my God. I'm gonna defer to these two. I've never heard of that. But yeah, that's kind of crazy. I
Yeah,
can't
that's
run
the
on the
pitcher's.
mound.
That's the pitcher's territory, and you just have to respect it.
Is that why they're always hopping over it?
They'll walk around it. They'll run around it. No one ever. You'll never see a guy run.
They
through
hop over the foul line.
Yeah,
You're
some
not-
guys that are superstitious.
Superstitious,
They
yeah.
won't touch the. They won't touch the foul
This
line.
is getting good. All right, that's the
Yeah.
first one. I
All right,
didn't
he
even know
never
about
heard that one, so-
Dang.
G. Bush, I think you'll probably know 3 of these. 2 of these you may never heard of. Number 4, though. This drives me crazy. This is what G brought up the other day. Don't swing at a 3-0 pitch if you're up. G. Bush,
If
you're
what?
swinging. G. Bush is swinging.
Bro, listen.
Wait,
when
wait, don't swing at a 3-0 pitch in what?
If your team is up
If your
big,
team's up. Yeah, if your team's up.
you don't swing at a 3-0.
Well, in that case, that was half of my home runs right there. They said, how you hit a home run all the time? I said, I swing as hard as I can every pay. Like, I'm going to 3-0? That's a fastball. If you threw me curves the whole day, I'm hitting that. What do you? I need to get to the fastball. What do you mean I can't swing if we lose, if we up big? I need my average to go up, dog.
You know what? Let me put it into your language. The score of a football game is 52-0.
Right.
There's a minute left and it's 3rd down. Your quarterback is going to drop back and throw a deep ball? That's the equivalent.
I got zero problem with either of those things.
I know you don't
Yeah.
because you just give zero, you know what?
Because you're a professional athlete.
But there is decorum, Brad.
That's just like
Talk to the decorum of
the
it.
last of NBA
Okay.
game. Or listen, and you try to get
You're not
real
gonna shoot
big.
a 3.
Don't be shooting no 3 here.
Oh, Russell
No,
Westbrook was.
and
triple-double.
every time it does, they do it. Somebody's a melee because you breaking the rules here.
Okay.
Right? Or somebody
but basketball players don't know how to fight anymore, Brad.
In my day, somebody would get laid out. Right?
Yeah.
Back then, especially when you played.
You stand there
Yeah.
and dribble that thing out right there.
But that's a respect thing, and I do get that. When the game is over and there's nothing left to be settled, if you're throwing a Hail Mary late in the game with the big lead, if you're shooting a 3 as the shot clock or the game clock rather is winding down and you don't need to shoot the ball, and if you're swinging on a 3-0 pitch or if you're stealing a base, that's kind of putting your face
Now
in.
stealing, I get it.
Who was the Cavalier player that went for the triple
Ricky
double?
Davis.
Yes,
Ricky
yeah.
And see what that started?
Right, exactly.
Right.
Guys on the other side they're pros too, and
Well, let me ask you this. You go to kids, right? Sometimes kids playing football, they getting blown out. We running the ball, right? We running the ball. We ain't throwing the ball.
With kids,
and
it's a different
then they
story.
tell you, hey, that kid can't play because he scored 10 touchdowns on us.
Well-
What are you going to do with him? Just sit
No,
on
no, that's the children.
No,
have
that's
it
different.
Children have it different.
that is
children
totally
have
different.
it different.
That is
right?
different.
The children.
What's
when
number
you're
3?
an adult, it's a problem.
Number 3, along the same vein, don't run up the score. In baseball, a sport that's so predicated on getting contracts based on stats, I hate when dudes just virtually give themselves up late in games because a single hit could be the difference of 250 versus 247.
Nobody ever does that, though. That's not an unwritten rule.
A single hit isn't going to be 3 percentage
You
points
get what I'm
in your
saying?
batting
An
average.
RBI, all those things. You play to the last whistle. That's what I was always taught. There's
Yeah.
no whistles in baseball, but I can't stand teams who just kind of pack it in late in the game and just say, hey, we're already
If
up
you're
by
playing
7.
for a personal milestone in your contract and it's late in the year and you get a $100,000 bonus if you get 100 RBI, the guys on the other team
understand it.
are going to understand
They understand
that.
it.
They will. And everybody's pretty.
Are
everybody
they
knows
plugged
that.
in like that?
Yeah, everybody pretty much knows.
That's
they
crazy.
Know.
Baseball is
I
a cult.
was at the last game at Municipal Stadium. Frank Thomas was battling with Albert Bell.
I remember that.
For I believe it was the RBI total.
Yeah.
And
I remember that.
The Indians they didn't intentionally walk him, they worked around him. It was very obvious what they were doing. And the Big Hurt was furious. And I thought he was going to come to the mound. I thought that he was yapping with either the catcher or the first baseman after it happened. I thought that was Bush League for the Indians to do that.
Yeah, definitely.
I thought that was Bush League.
You're breaking the
and that's a
rules.
perfect example.
It's
Look,
like
Joe DiMaggio when he hit 400. Late in the season, I think there was a doubleheader. He had gone over 400, and his manager asked him, do you want to sit the second game? I don't want 400 that way.
No, right.
And he ended up getting more hits and hit 406.
Right.
So, like, last year, I think this happened when Jamar Chase played the last game against the Browns because he wanted to get the
rookie record.
record.
Right.
And were you cool with that?
I didn't want him to play because I didn't want him to get hurt.
Right.
But I didn't care that he played. Like, I didn't care that he was doing it for that reason. I didn't I didn't have any problem with
I
that.
think professional players understand when people are against milestones, right? We got
Yeah.
that, right?
Yeah.
What we don't like is the cheapness.
Okay.
Don't get
Sure.
it the cheap way, right?
The thing that you'd say cheapness, the one thing in sports that I have more of a problem with than anything else was when Brett Favre laid
Strahan
down
sack.
so Strahan could
I'm a
get the
Giants
Strack
fan,
record.
and I was not happy with that.
No,
That's
I mean,
lame.
You,
You didn't-
can't be. It was lame. It was obviously orchestrated. It was obviously laid down to give him the sack.
If somebody
I'm
hands you it,
Strahan,
yeah, I don't want that.
I want it that way.
I wouldn't
wanna
want
earn
the
it.
record that way.
Yeah, I wanna earn it.
That's like someone saying, "Wait, you're one home run from the record," and the pitcher tubes one.
Right, yeah.
For him to hit the home run, you don't want it that way.
No.
You want to earn it.
That's
Number
lame.
2.
Number 2, this one drives me absolutely crazy. You're not supposed to bunt to break up a no-hitter.
I agree with that.
we talked about that
should have been
earlier.
number one.
Why?
Yes.
Because it's cheap.
Now, wait, you agree with that that's a stupid unwritten rule, or you respect that rule?
Well, it depends. It depends on the situation of the game.
Yeah.
If the score's 1-0,
Yep.
and I'm bunting to
or
try to
even
get on base,
2-0, because then you bring
right?
up the tying
if
run
I'm
behind you.
bunting to try to win the game, then I got no problem.
Yeah, but if it's 6-0 and the guy lays down a bunt,
That's
with
lame.
First inning, and
That's Bush League for the batter to do.
I agree.
Why?
Yeah.
If I'm Kenny Lofton, I'm laying that bunt down.
If you're bunting just to break up a no-hitter, that's lame. Earn it.
So
Earn it.
let me ask you this,
Get a hit.
McNuggets. Here's why it's lame. Here's why it's lame. If it was 6-0, but the pitcher had given up 3 hits, is that hitter going to bunt?
No.
Maybe.
No, it's a bad strategy. You're not going to bunt in that spot.
If you're like Juan Pierre, yeah, you are.
If you
No,
Ichiro,
look, it is a
Pierre.
little
There's no
different.
longer Juan Pierres in the league.
Yeah, there's no more Juan Pierres. in the
Ricky
league.
Henderson laying
Juan
that bunt
Pierre.
down.
How about that throwback name?
No,
though?
because
Y'all
Ricky
understand
Henderson
you
could
bring up
actually
Juan
hit.
Pierre in
Yeah,
this
right.
discussion.
I'm surprised McNuggets knew Juan Pierre.
I am too.
He was my favorite, like MLB All-Star 09 player.
I mean, really, to me, as a pitcher,
Okay.
the way I'm looking at it is,
Yeah.
if it's 2-0, and I've got a no-hitter in the 9th,
Right.
and the leadoff guy squares to bunt,
Right.
I totally understand
That's
that.
it.
You
Yes.
are strategizing. You're doing the smart thing to give your team a chance to
Trying to
win
get
the
on
game.
base and have another
If
guy come
it's-
behind you, right?
If it's 4-0,
Can't do that.
and he squares to bunt,
Lame.
the next guy's going to get one in the ear hole.
It's cheap.
And he should.
It's cheap.
It's cheap. And so I'm okay with that as an unwritten rule. I know McNuggets isn't, and I know G. Bush is looking at it like, wait, what?
I'd be up there like, let me go ahead and lay this down. Yeah.
D. Bush ain't getting up first on a bunt, though, so it doesn't matter.
Hey, if you Delino the Shields, you laying that boy down. I'm getting up out of here.
Let's get to number 1 before we get to the
Like
last
the
couple
original
topics
Delino
tonight.
Shields, who was good, or the bad one who was on the
original.
The
The
Indian?
original.
Okay. Yeah.
This is the worst rule in all of sports, in my opinion. The worst unwritten rule. Take it. It's really bat flips. If you hit a home run,
That's no longer
is
an
so
unwritten rule.
hard.
You can do it now, though.
you still get. It depends on the situation. If you hit a home run, hitting a baseball is the hardest thing to do in sports.
That
It is
is.
so hard. And if you do, I think G. Bush said, if he hit the ball 400 feet off a guy throwing
There's going to be
95,
a parade around the bases.
yeah. And I think it's absurd, even going back a couple years ago when it really was an issue. Let the guy celebrate. Like, I don't understand why it was such an issue, and I can't stand that
Well, do
players
you
would get
remember?
retaliated getting
You
hit.
remember Joey Bats?
Yeah,
Batista was the king
Yeah,
of the bat flip.
He had flavor
Do you
on his
remember when
joint.
Rudnet? What was his?
Rudnet Odor.
Rudnet Odor. That was the best sports punch thrown
Ever.
Phenomenal.
outside of Rudy Tomjanovich
Tomjanovich.
wearing one in the face.
right.
He almost
That I've
died.
ever seen.
Yeah.
That I have ever seen. I mean, Rudnet, he absolutely squared him up and laid him out. And just about all of baseball was cheering him for it.